sewing vlog, The Seaside Sewist. I'm back from holiday. Had a fantastic time. I'm now back at work also, but I thought I would come on and do a couple of vlogs. This first vlog is going to be everything that I have made so far this year, and you're probably thinking this video is going to go on forever, but I've sewn maybe 10 things since January. Some of them were quite involved makes, but I'm just going to talk you through what I made and what I thought. So these aren't in any particular order, and I am going to start with one that was a kind of a bit of a learning curve, let's just say a learning curve. So it was, I'm going to make a noise now, this man's shirt pattern, Simplicity Mimi G style, and I made this for my husband, and I made this version with like the pointed collars and just the normal cuffs. So it's a man's fitted shirt with collar and cuff variations. You can do like a curved cuff like this one here, and there's also like the, what do they call it? I think we call it something different. French cuffs, so the cuffs that you put cufflinks through. So this is from sizes chest 34 to 52, but the pattern that I bought is 34 to 42, so there's two different patterns, and my husband was a 42, so I literally just got that out of there. So what I did was I used, so this is a shirt. I haven't got a picture of him wearing it because it didn't fit in the end, and I'll let you know why. So this is the shirt. So you've got the collar, it's in this beautiful like pinstripe blue shirting. You've got the pocket, the cuffs, the back yoke with the pleat in the back. I absolutely loved making this, but I made a massive error, and you're gonna laugh. I obviously wanted to do the entire thing with French seams, so if we look inside, I wanted to do French seams for a really professional look. And I don't know what I did, but so if the seam allowance, for example, was 1.5 centimetres, I've done the French seam by sewing wrong sides together with maybe a 0.5 centimetre seam allowance. But then when I've turned it the other way, right sides together to do my actual seam, I've then done 1.5. So I ended up with 2 centimetres seam allowance literally on each side, which for a tailored shirt then made it too small. I was absolutely gutted because my husband had took it to Italy as well to wear and then couldn't wear it. But I do have another 3 shirtings that I bought from Fabworks when I went a few weeks ago. So this is like a trial. What I did find with the cuff as well, so this is a little bit untidy. Obviously your cuff is meant to like finish at the edge there. So I should have also, it's all right on that side, but I should have also really looked at one of my husband's shirts as well as I was going along. But I'm very happy with like all of the other details that I did, like the sleeve placket there, and I can always take the buttons off that I'd put on and use them on something else. I don't think there's any saving of this shirt now, because he was like, oh, I really want to wear it, but if I unpick it now, it's just going to have holes in it off the needle. So that, as I say, you live and learn. So that was a trial and error. But the instructions were great until I got to, I kept putting the front pieces on the wrong part of the yoke. So when I was bagging it out, it kept being the wrong way around. And even watching, I think when I watched the YouTube tutorial, that is quite in depth, and that did help me on quite a few of the pieces. So I'll link that in the description box below, and that is a really, really helpful video. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. I've been talking too much already. This is my new mug. I'll burn myself now. This is my new mug that I bought from Anthropology when I went to Leeds with my ladies. So it's got my initial on, and then it's got certain bits on the mug that are raised. So you've got a bee that's raised, and then there's a flower that's raised, and I just thought it was lovely, and it holds loads of tea, which is ideal for me. So I do have some notes here. So the next thing that I made into, oops, I'm just destroying everywhere now. I made into different fabrics as a bit of a project for myself, and it is this Simplicity 8735 wrap dress. Not my favourite wrap dress pattern, so I'm looking for the perfect woven wrap dress pattern, and when I get later down the line of showing you a skirt that I've made and the wrap fastening on that, I will then explain. So the last two wrap dresses I've kind of made have had like a button fastening, so the kind of, so it's trying to explain, that wraps over and it's got a belt hanging at the edge of it. Then you wrap the other bit over and then you tie them. And this pattern and another one that I'm going to show you that I've made this year have on the inside, they have you put a button and a piece of elastic on the other piece, which sort of holds it. It's quite precarious because it could, that piece of elastic could come away, or the button could come away. So that's the part I didn't like about this. So this comes in sizes 6 to 24, so a bust of 30.5 up to 46 inches. It's a nice enough dress. I made this variation with short sleeves, and I made it in 2 fabrics. So I'll insert a little video actually that I made as a reel for Instagram to show that. And I made one in a cotton waffle from So Hayley Jane, which was quite thick and heavy, which is my least favourite. And then I made the next one in a Minerva exclusive viscose, which was a lot drapier. I left a lot of the length on, and this is my favourite one out of the 2. But as I say, I'm on the fence really with wrap dresses at the minute and the construction of them. So that was that make. So if we then go straight into the next wrap dress, I made this for the gathering, which was a night out in Cleckheaton near Leeds that some lovely ladies arranged. So a group of us went, and there was about 90 people there in total. and if you wanted, you could make a dress or a garment to wear. So I made the Ravello wrap dress by Sew Over It, which was kind of like a boxy kind of wrap dress rather than being figure hugging. So I'll put some pictures in of me wearing that, and I made this in a rainbow print fabric from Rainbow Fabrics, and it was lovely. It was a lovely make. Again, it was held inside by the button and the elastic. I really did sew them in quite well, but you kind of were checking kind of through the night whether that had come away, and you were kind of exposed then, but it was absolutely fine. So I'll put a picture in of, it's from the Summer Dreaming ebook, and you can make it as a maxi dress, you can make it as a top, or the shorter dress, which is what I made. So it's probably best then me going into the next pattern that links all those together. I've just come back from Italy, and about 2 days before I went, I decided I wanted to make a whole new outfit, but I wanted to make like a cord. So I wanted a top and a skirt to be made in the same fabric, but that could be worn separately. I didn't want to buy any fabric or any patterns, so I was going to use what I had. So I made it up of the Ogden Cami by True Bias. Now with the Ogden Cami, I don't like the very thin shoulder straps. So the shoulder strap piece that you get, you're meant to cut that pattern piece out and then fold it in half and sew it. I just cut 2 of those thicker pieces out and then put it against the bodice pattern piece and just widened the top where it was then going to sit in. I find it quite low as well, so I shortened them so it sat further up. So I'll put a picture in of the top part. This is me, I think, in a restaurant having a lovely meal one night. The fabric that I used was a fabric that I bought in B&M Fabrics earlier in the year, and I think it was something like £6 a metre, and I had 2 metres of it, and it made this whole outfit. So I did the Ogden Cami, and then from the Summer Dreaming ebook from Sew Over It again, I used the Alba skirt pattern. Now it's a wrap skirt, it's like a midi length, but you can put a ruffle right round it as well, so it sort of comes up at the front, so it's quite fancy. I left the ruffle off because I didn't have enough fabric, but I didn't want it to be too fancy. Now this was great. It was literally 3 skirt pieces, so back piece and the 2 side pieces that sort of go into a whole curve, and then there is a waistband that you put on the top, and from the waistband the 2 straps are then attached to that. But in a part of the waistband you kind of put a buttonhole, like a big buttonhole, so one of the straps feeds through this big buttonhole, goes right round your waist and then ties at the side, which I think next time I make a wrap dress, if it doesn't have that feature, I'm going to put that in. I'll try and put some maybe video footage, because my wardrobe is behind where you are, so unless I was going to absolutely just destroy the frame that I'm in, I might actually, bear with me. I've probably totally destroyed the frame, but I'm back because I kind of wanted to show you in depth. So this is the first wrap dress, the Simplicity one. So you've kind of got I'll untie it. So this is your wrap dress, and you kind of fold, put the first wrap over yourself, but then there's a piece of elastic and a button, so that on one side you attach that way, then you put the other wrap over, and then you tie them at the side, and that's how that wrap works. With this, so I really do prefer this. So this is the Ravello. Now I'll take it off the hanger, but it might then all sort of collapse. So this is it closed. So I've got I open it right up, so you've got the entire of the skirt, side, back, side, and then the two straps at either end. So if I put it on my body, so in the middle is the buttonhole that I'm on about. So you've got your back piece, then you put your front piece over it, you then get that buttonhole. I hope this is working. You pull your strap right through your buttonhole, so that's hanging out the side. So you've got that on your body, then you put your front wrap on. The one that went through the buttonhole goes right round your back, and then you tie them at the side there. I hope that has done it justice. I really do prefer that. I really do prefer that. So this is the Ogden Cami that went with that as well. So see what I mean. I've done thicker shoulder straps and I've shortened them a lot, but as I say, I'll put pictures in of me wearing the entire outfit. I've just put a little hello gorgeous tag in there as well. So that was a bit of a learning curve this year on wrap dresses. I'm still trying to find my perfect sort of little wrap tea dress kind of thing. So if you've got any recommendations, but any that have that sort of closure, I'd be really grateful for that. Right, the next thing that I've got to show you was, again, a bit of a learning curve. I wanted to make this pattern that I got free in a sewing magazine ages ago. This Burda style, does it have a number? 6540, but the top, which to me looks woven. And it wasn't until I cut my pattern pieces, I went to cut it out and read the instructions, that it was actually for a stretch fabric. So it was never going to go over my head. So I thought I'll hack it. I'll have a go at hacking quite a simple top, because it's literally got two pieces, a front and a back. So I'll put some pictures in of what I did. I used Minerva exclusive viscose linen blend, and I literally, the back piece I cut in half and then sewed back up the seam, so it had an opening, and then I put a little hook and eye on, and I did my first bit of bias binding round the hem, the arms and the neckband, and I think it looks really cute. So I was really happy to have sort of made my own pattern up there. So it says it's super easy. It is. It's in 2 pieces. And it is in sizes 6 to 20, but it is meant to be for a stretch. So I'll have to try it in stretch as well. The next thing that I made, and I've got plans to make a lot more of these, is the Donny shirt by Friday Pattern Company. Sorry, I've got my back to you. It's a boxy pull-on top, a dartless top with a lapel collar and a patch pocket. I wanted to make this in some white broderie anglaise that I bought in Paris last year for my holiday to Italy. And I think I did the same as I did with the shirt. I French seamed it, but miscalculated, so it's quite fitted. I love it. I absolutely love it. But my next ones are going to be quite boxy. That's what they are. So it's quite an easy sew. I left the pocket off, and because my fabric had a broderie anglaise stripe through it, I cut it off in a straight instead of having that dipped hem. But I think it looks lovely, and I'll put some pictures in of me wearing it. I actually wore it when we were in Venice, and it kept me very, very cool. So I'm just trying to find the sizes. It goes from sizes XS to XXL. XS is a chest of 32 to 33, and XXL is 44 to 46, so really size inclusive. And I've seen some lovely versions, some like plain linen versions, and then some that people have made with pattern fabrics, and they all look great. So I've got lots more of those that I want to make. Bit of a sewing fill for me for the next one, and it is the Arlo track jacket, and I will put my head in my hands because it was a disappointment. I used Minerva fleece, which was absolutely fine, but I didn't want to use ribbing for the waistband and the cuffs. I wanted to use the fleece, and I'd seen Brogan the Crafty Pie where she'd put the same fabric for the hemband and then put a piece of elastic in, which worked great, but for some reason I then thought that the collar was in ribbing. So when I was cutting that piece out in the fleece, I thought, oh, this needs to be bigger, which it didn't. So you can imagine what my collar looked like. And then I thought I bought the correct zip size, and I hadn't, so it sits a bit shorter. It's kind of one of those items that's been relegated to doing the gardening. I will make it again, but I just didn't enjoy it. I just really didn't enjoy it. It's great for anybody who wants to make it, and I've seen some fantastic versions, but I think I'll leave that a little while before I make it again, unfortunately. And the last thing that I made, so I haven't made that much, is the Sienna dress from Sew Over It's Summer Dreaming ebook again. Now this I cut out last year in a Sew Hayley Jane fabric, like pink with like teal paisley in it. My first bit is shearing. It's got a sheared back bodice, very fitted, and I love it. I didn't get to wear it on holiday, so the pictures that will be put in here will be pictures that were took in the garden. But it's lovely. I love the length. I bought some lovely little buttons from Fabworks when I went the other day. Where are my buttons? bought some lovely little buttons to put on, which one of my lovely ladies helped me find. And they were literally just a simple sort of white flower. So I put those on, and I think it looks lovely. So it will definitely be going with me on holiday next time I go. So yes, a bit of a longer video than usual. You know, I'm not getting as much sewn up for me to be able to do kind of like May makes. So I'm tending to do this and some chatty catch-ups and things like that. I think my next vlog will be plans for the rest of the summer rather than plans for July, plans for August. But you know, I don't want to bore you too much either. So let me know what you think of all those things that I've made. Have you made any of them? Please give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, and please press the subscribe button if you want to see more from me. Until next time, bye.